What will people be most surprised to know about you?
Do you think I should keep this like rugby related or just like...
I think go wild, Go wild.
Go wild.
Go wild.
I'm really good at making fudge, bro.
Fudge? Hi, I'm Demetri.
Hi, I'm Sacha, and this is Bound by the Jersey.
Okay, Sash. Okay, what is the most rewarding thing about being a professional rugby player?
I think the most rewarding part at Demetri is probably just being able to kind of like, have a message, portray a message and have the message be received, by many people. Because you obviously gain such a big, support base and so many fans or supporters. It's nice to know that, they can kind of listen to your advice or like appreciate your opinion and what you think can go a long way in their lives. I think that's quite an important part.
Yeah, that's quite cool. And I guess now that you're such a role model, it's like you have such a big impact, I guess.
Yeah. And the tricky thing is like being you're a role model so early, but like you're still figuring things out yourself, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it all kind of gets like dumped on you, and like it's a responsibility, but it's like it's one of the best responsibilities I think you can have,
100%. But you won't even realize it, but you're being a role model now, being like so vulnerable about it.
Yeah.
So like it just makes it okay for the younger guy to be vulnerable like that too, which is in essence. Yeah. I mean, for me, I think the most rewarding thing when I was a bit younger, like in my early 20s, was mostly about like entertainment. Like I was so just happy that I could get on the field and people were screaming.
Yeah, facts.
And they're like, wow, well done.
And you used to play like that as well.
Everyone was like happy. Well, not as good as you, but but everyone was like, entertained. And then I think later on in my career, I just was so happy that I could be a role model, like just give a good example to the younger generation, and but just be a bit of like a help to them whenever I could, and just make an impact, I guess.
That's the thing, because like bro, Coach Russ even spoke to us about something similar, where he was like, rugby players come and go very often, and you won't know who the next guy is.
Yeah.
And like leaving a legacy and leaving like a print, like that's probably the most important thing. So okay. If you could play alongside any player from any era, who would it be and why?
Oh, wow.
That's a crazy question, man.
You know what? I think I was the type of player that enjoyed bringing others into the game and, giving them the ball and letting them show their special skill. So probably like the most gifted rugby player ever, it was probably Jonah Lomu. Yeah. I would just be in awe if he was like next to me. Yeah. And if I could give him the ball, it'd be like even more. So it's just like, I think Jonah Lomu would be the guy I would love to give the ball to and watch do his thing.
Yeah. That's a tricky question, huh? Look, I have so many answers, and this one's gonna probably be so surprising to the audience. But like for me, playing alongside skillful players is really nice and it brings out the best in you, but like feeling a level of security, within like a forward pack, is probably the most important thing for a 10, right? And based off like when I used to watch your guys' games, Reynard Ulstad was that guy.
That is amazing.
Bro, I used to love watching him play. He was so physical, so competitive, and like a tough geezer.
Yeah.
I would have loved to be next to him. I would have felt quite safe.
No, he was a tough man. I mean, we had quite a few, I guess, in my year. Like there was Skulkberger, he was ridiculous. And like Mike Rhodes was very similar to Reynard Ulstad.
Still had Etzebeth at that stage.
Sure, we had Etzebeth. We had an unbelievable squad actually. Bro. So many good loose
Even
forwards.
Nizam
was there. Obviously, Sia was there. Kolisi was there. Yeah. Jeez, we had so many good loose forwards.
That was a time, bro.
Unbelievable.
Dion wasn't there?
Dion was there.
He was there also.
But he was like a flank hooker.
Yes.
But I personally think probably the best six in the country at the time.
Dion.
But he just wasn't being picked by the box.
Yeah.
So we had world-class flanks on the bench.
He was stacked. Yeah. And Peter Steff was coming through. That was 2016.
I left. And
when did you leave? 2015?
2015, yeah. But it's interesting that you picked a forward,
Yeah, bro. Let's pick a card.
I'm not gonna lie. 4 didn't even cross my mind.
This is the problem.
They don't exist for me. They're like, just get the ball to me, and then stay out the way. What will people be most surprised to know about you?
Do you think I should keep this like rugby related or just like?
I think go wild,
Go
wild.
Go wild.
Go wild.
I'm really good at making fudge, bro.
Fudge.
Like, so COVID hit and my mates and I wanted to make some cash, so we learned how to make fudge.
Yeah.
Ended up selling it at a Rugby market at this brownie place. I'm not giving you free advertising, unfortunately, but at a nice brownie place. They gave us the stand. And bro, we had the OG fudge, the normal fudge. We had Oreo fudge, chuckles, coffee.
Like really sweet fudge or like really good?
Good fudge. Like, bro, I'm not even lying. Like,
I might take you up one day.
Fudge.
Yeah.
I actually made fudge for Valentine's Day. Don't know who for, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say who for.
Yeah.
Just for yourself, eh?
For all the loved ones. And you?
Geez, I don't even know. Like, you know what? People are very surprised when they hear that I'm vegan.
Are you?
Yeah. So I think that's probably. I think I'm like the only vegan rugby player in history.
Wait, were you vegan at the time of rugby?
Yeah, I was. When I was at Montpellier, I was vegan.
When was that? Like 2017,
2016, I think I went vegan.
Crazy, because that's kind of before the whole, because these things become a whole wave, bro.
Yeah.
And everyone jumps on, but to be vegan before probably says that you're kind of into that yourself.
So yeah, I went vegan 2016, and I would tell people and be like, "Are you joking?" I'd be like, "No, honestly, I'm vegan."
That's crazy, bro.
So that's probably one thing
expensive.
that I think
that's why I went to
people.
France, right, to maintain that food budget.
The meat's expensive.
Okay, here we go. A fly-half is considered the general of the team, often orchestrating a team's attack and defense. How do you handle pressure that comes with making such key decisions on the field? How did you?
So I think I got a character for pressure. I think I think growing up, I always found myself in pressure situations, whether it was on the cricket field, opening the batting, or being a fly-half in rugby. And I think I probably just got used to it throughout my career. And I must be honest, I don't know if it's natural. I don't know if you learn this type of thing. I think you're quite natural in this situation too. It's like I thrived on it. I think if I went into a rugby game and the coach said, "You're not kicking this weekend," I'd actually be annoyed because that pressure would be off my shoulders.
Oh wow, yeah, that's different for a lot of guys.
Yeah, and I think I miss it, to be honest. I think probably one of the only things I miss about rugby is the pressure.
Yeah.
And even in the working world now, if I don't have that extra little pressure, it
doesn't bring out the best.
I need the fire. Yeah, I need the fire, and I enjoyed it with rugby. There's obviously the downside of it when you don't execute, and
it's harder.
And it's
people don't understand that.
It does. The pressure grows, and So I know you're in a position now where you've had a lot of pressure.
Yeah, bro, and like similar to what you're saying there, with like the more you put on yourself, the more it either like the win is either a big win or that loss is a bigger loss, like individually, you know.
Yeah.
So like handling that pressure and making key decisions on the field, like for me, what I think helped so much was that, like I haven't really been afraid to be wrong, whether it's in preparation of the game or decision making in the game, and I've often been someone to kind of I'd like to hear someone else's opinion, and making key decisions then with more than one person's input kind of then takes the pressure off you, you know.
Yeah.
And it makes it, I don't know, I find it a lot easier. Yeah. From that sense, and then from like a pressure moments point, like you said, bro, like I live for that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who wasn't taking kicks and saying they're kicking against whoever in the World Cup final, you know?
Yeah.
And like chasing that execution under high pressure situations is like, it's like the bread and butter of, I think, a real competitive athlete. So like, it's not easy to make key decisions with so much pressure, but like it's part of the job, I guess.
You know what? I think like, and I see it when you play. You've taken it into your play, like it's one of your roles. So you're like, I'm the guy that people are gonna look to.
Yeah.
So I don't mind having that pressure on me. And as soon as you make it part of your game, you know, obviously you need to find a way to deal with it, whether it's off the field with, I don't know, some of your mentors and you know, like obviously helping you out. But you know, if you make it part of your game and you take on that role, then that's you, bro. Then that's it, you know.
Yeah, bro, and it's a good trait to have, and a lot of guys will shy away from that. And you know, Like someone like you also, like being a footballer, like, I mean, even the way you used to play and kick the ball, like whether it was with your weak foot in the Curry Cup or whatever, you know, those high pressure moments, you can see that preparation has come through clean there, you know? And there's a direct correlation for me between the guys who work the hardest and the guys who can handle pressure and want to perform under pressure the hardest, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess also handling it with, you know, it's a work ethic thing prior. You can't walk on the field and think you're going to execute a high pressure situation if you've never seen it before.
100%.
So I think also working hard.
Yeah,
bro.
I listen to, like, obviously we play team sports, so the pressures are kind of spread out.
Yes.
I listen to a lot of boxers speak.
Yes.
Pre-fights and after fights, you know. And a lot of the time, guys ask them, like, why, you know, like, what makes you get up every morning, like when you're tired and stuff. And a lot of them say, if I don't get up and do the training, when I walk into the ring, I'm going to think I haven't prepared enough. And then that's when the pressure takes control of you.
Wow.
But you take control of the pressure when you put in the work. So I think, yeah, are we getting quite deep
That's
here?
quality, bro. This is good for the audience, wherever you guys are. Like,
Yeah.
it's true, bro, because you don't actually want to walk into any position, like especially for all the BrightRock viewers, like, you know, a rugby game is not a joke game, you know, it's a physical sport. It's a sport where there's a lot of scrutiny, there's a lot of support. You know, when those pressure moments come, you don't want to have doubt within yourself because then ultimately you're not going to execute properly.
Exactly.
And that pressure is going to make you crumble. So, yeah, I think
take control of the pressure.
Yeah,
and it's nice to know that once you've done all you can do before, that even if you do mess up, you've done what you could do.
Exactly.
You know, there's not much more you can do.
It's a lot easier on your mental space.
Yeah.
Quality. Okay.
It's me, yeah?
Yeah, it's you, bro.
Okay. Who's the locker room DJ in your respective teams?
Sazi Sunday at the Stormers, Mr. Vibes.
Of course, he looks like it.
Oh my gosh, bro. Vibes, always. Vibes are immaculate at Sazi. And then at the Springboks, I think Jesse Krill or Faf.
Oh, really, yeah?
Yeah, bro, Jesse
What
loves...
music does Jesse play?
Jesse plays like EDM, like beach... It sounds like beach club vibes. Like, it's like... He might just throw in like a French house song that no one knows.
Really?
And him and Faf will enjoy it.
Half Afrikaans music, yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like Afrikaans house. It's weird. Yeah, it's a weird mix, hey?
Yeah, I can
Especially,
imagine.
yeah.
That,
you obviously not playing anymore, but in your days?
So, you know, it was probably Jean de Jong, eh? He was really the hype man.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes I remember when he was captain of the team, he was listening to so much Drake before the game, he was rapping verses in like the team meeting.
Typical, bro.
So, I mean, I think Jean de Jong was really the hype man.
He does bring vibes still to this day.
Amazing. He's got the best energy. Honestly, he's got the best energy.
What a good guy. Shout out Jobas.
Yeah, so I can't really mention anyone else. I think Jean de Jong was the guy.
Okay, shout out Jobas. Okay. Here we go. Is this a date or is this an interview?
Here we go.
What do you admire the most about each other? It's your eyes for me, bro.
No. Sacha, I admire probably two things mostly about you. The fact that you're so versatile. Like, I do think you, at some stage, need to hone in on one thing, but I do think you're extremely versatile, and it's something probably I never really was. I was literally a flower and a flower only.
But at least they remember you as a flower.
Sometimes I remember when I was younger, the coach was like, "Can you play 15?" I was like, "No." Can you play 9? No. I've never done it before in my life.
Can you play bench?
I honestly think from the time I was 13 years old, since I first started playing professional, like not professional, sorry, contact rugby, I don't think I ever played any other position in 10.
Yo, bro, it's like you can kind of see that, bro. Like in a good way, like you knew you were good at 10, bro. Seriously.
So you're like extremely versatile.
Yeah, that's
and like I really admire that. That's amazing. And then your confidence for me, it's just like, it's really like, it's beyond. It's something I don't see. How old are you now?
22.
Yeah, it's something I don't see too much in other 22-year-olds. You know, I worked closely with Marcus Smith when I was at Harlequins.
Oh, yes, bro, of course.
He was young when he was coming through. You know, he had the same sort of aura that you got. And it's admirable. It's like, I don't know if I had it when I was young. I was always a bit like, do I belong?
Yeah.
But yeah, but you look like, even if you don't believe it. You look like you think you belong. So
Thanks,
that's amazing. It's so important.
Sweet. That's
important.
That's two good traits.
Yeah.
So thank you, bro. For me, bro, honestly, like, so I've always been a fan of yours. Obviously, I'm also like that football rugby hybrid.
Same place.
So, bro, you know what I'm saying? So, like, obviously that's slapped. So, like, for me, bro, so I've always, like, spoken about you. And the one thing I'd say I admire about you, because when I speak about you, people only ever have good things to say, bro. And that, for me, is, like, that's a really cool trait. Like, and every time I've met you or whatever, been with you, it's just, like, you're a good oak, bro.
Thanks.
And then, from a rugby point of view, I would just say, what I admire most about you? Bro, just say it's the way you could strike a ball, bro. It's very like a natural kicking style, left foot, right foot. You were left-footed.
I was right-footed.
Right-footed, sorry.
Yeah.
You left-footed that drop goal.
Yeah.
Where was that? At the Shark Tank. Yeah, bro, for me it was that, bro. The fact that you were just a skilled footballer. Because people forget, like, rugby is football also.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I feel like a lot of the training and the coaching with the way people kick or whatever is very rigid. And you were very fluid. And that's something I try to pride myself on being, like, just a fluid rugby player, fluid kicker.
Yeah.
So I'd say, yeah, bro, I definitely admire that about you.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Pleasure, man. Last one, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
What is the earliest memory you have of the DHL Stormers growing up?
Wow. You know, it's a funny story, actually. But my earliest memory was, I was born in Joburg. So I grew up going to Ellis Park every weekend. And I remember as like probably like a 5, 6, 7-year-old. I don't even know. I was really, really young.
Yeah.
My earliest memory was walking up the ramps going to our seat. And the Province fans were walking past me, Province. And the Lions fans walking behind them. Problems. And I remember we watched that game, and the Lions lost, actually.
Yeah.
And I always loved, and I'm Greek, so like blue and white for me has always been my thing.
Yes, bro, of course.
And obviously Western Province, blue and white hoops.
Yeah.
And I actually we used to go to watch Lions since I was young, but I used to support Western Province because of blue and white hoops.
Yeah,
and then it was just amazing that, like, along the way I ended up moving to Cape Town and playing for them. It was like...
It is actually crazy. Like, when you think about, like, it's not touched on as much in rugby as it is in football.
Yeah.
But, like, playing for your boyhood club is, like, a huge thing in football. And, like, guys forget, like, I just seen France get 150 caps now for the Stormers. Like, and saying in his interview that, like, you know, growing up watching the club and then getting 150 caps, like, it's the most incredible thing.
It's amazing, yeah.
It's nuts, bro.
What's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory, I was trying to think whilst I was asking this question. I don't really know, bro. But I would say, you remember that fight? I think it was, I don't even know if it was Stormers. Stormers Cheetahs in the corner. I think it was like 2000.
You know what? I think I do remember it.
Bro, Dion Free was in there. Kitsoff was young in there.
It was 2012 or 2013.
It was around there, yeah. Opa Mahoja was there. Adrian Strauss.
Yeah.
It was like that era.
Yeah.
And it went down in the corner, bro.
Yes.
Like right by
the
the fence. All the fans are there. And I remember thinking, like, so at that stage I was still playing football, and I just thought, like, you know what, bro, this doesn't look too bad.
I thought you were gonna say, you know what, bro, I'm not gonna play this.
No, none of that, bro. And then, like, even just, like, for me, I mean, watching that confrontation go down, and then, like, you know, afterwards, just seeing everyone just move, like, just keep it moving, or straight after the fight, it was just like, that was definitely my earliest memory, bro. That was like my earliest proper rugby memory, as I think, like, that I'm conscious about. But like you said, bro, also playing for the Stormers is also just like, it's mind blowing.
Yeah,
bro.
it's like obviously it's like so strange in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then but it's funny you said that attracted you to rugby.
Yeah.
Because I was almost like the same as you.
Yeah.
We're both football players. We obviously played football in our teens.
Yeah.
The reason why I left football was because I felt like I needed some contact.
Oh, yeah.
And it was obviously the same reason why you left.
Literally, bro. Like, I used to, like, bro, I was playing football. I was playing, like, I could play centre attacking midfielder 1 week.
Yeah.
But then they'd stick me at centre back the next week. But wherever I played, bro, I was vigorous, bro.
Yeah.
And, like, a bit too intense with football. And, like, the guy who would wear the medal studs when you're not supposed to, like... So I mean, I just have to save the brothers around me and say goodbye to football.
Yeah.
Come play with the big boys, bro.
That's it, yeah. What a beautiful game. Best
What a game,
in the
bro.
world.
Glad we did it, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother.
Sweet. It's good chatting, Sash.
Armed by the jersey, guys. Thank you for having us.